Hi, and welcome to the Total Recall Show. I'm Tom Scholey, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics, and Fantastic Four Grand Design.
I'm Matt Zioli.
And today we're talking about our tribute to McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Sponsored by Burger King.
By Burger King.
We are, fans of a lot of stuff, and it's been way overdue to talk about.
This has been a long time in the making.
Talk about McDonald's, our love of McDonald's. We love big evil corporations.
Yeah.
We love Disney, Marvel, Lego.
The bigger the corporation, the better. The more power they wield in our everyday lives.
Not a big fan of AT&T. Gotta say, AT&T is kind of blowing it as far as big evil corporations. They've kind of fallen out of grace with some of the shenanigans they're doing with Warner Brothers, where there was a Batgirl movie with Michael Keaton as Batman in it, all ready to go. Like maybe they had to tweak a special effect here and there or whatever, ready to go, and they're like, we are going to delete it from existence to claim a tax.
What was going on? It's like I saw the budget was like $90 million.
It's just this weird era,
happened?
I guess we've entered, when you have a huge corporation that does not have a history as like an entertainment or like an arts company coming in, and it's just like they don't view it the same way. Something like Warner Brothers been around for maybe 100 years or more, and it's just kind of ingrained in the culture of that evil corporation is but ingrained into it is an understanding of the importance of art, the sort of responsibility that you have. Even when you're an evil corporation, you're creating, art, and there's a lot of, artists and craftsmen involved in its production. But when you're, maybe the ultimate evil corporation, you're the descendant of Ma Bell or whatever, you just have an even more cynical view. But anyway, that's we're one evil corporation at a time. Today we're celebrating McDonald's.
And McDonald's, you know what? They did Batman right. Gotta love those I still have all my Batman Returns collector's cups in the Batman Returns Happy Meal toys.
Yeah.
Love their work with Batman.
You have the penguin and his duck.
Yes.
One. Okay, because I was at the thrift store and they have these little plastic baggies with assorted toys that they throw in there, and I found some gold there.
Oh my god!
One time I found bundled in with all the junk. I found a Tron action figure that I think goes for $100 or something. What? So I snagged an original Tron. I snagged that, and they just threw the rest of the toys away. Snagged this thing in a little packet, like a little $3 plastic bag, and then I got a Corgi Buck Rogers die-cast metal spaceship.
Nice.
In among a bunch of junk. So there's gold in those stores, and then in one of them I found the Penguin Batman Returns McDonald's toy, and I thought, man, is this did I just strike gold again? What's this thing go for? And I looked it up, and it's it's $2 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I was like, whatever. It wasn't worth the $3 for the plastic bag, so I kind of just let it slide.
Happy Meal toys from when I was little.
Yeah.
When my brothers and I would get the toys, my mom would paint, I think I mentioned this before on the show at some point, she would have nail polish and mark the bottoms of my brother's toys. So when we were fighting,
you gotta differentiate.
You gotta differentiate. Yeah.
And it's sometimes, when you're a kid, your parent, they try to apply logic, and they're like, well, if one of the kids has, Luke Skywalker, I'll get the other kid Han. So, but you're asking for, you just got to get two Skywalkers.
Yeah, my goodness, I still have a ton, Chippendales Rescue Rangers, Fraggle Rock, Mario 3.
Okay, wow.
Batman Returns.
There's the one, I don't know if this was McDonald's or Burger King. I think we talked about it on other episodes, but it was the monster movie.
Oh,
they were glow in the dark monster movie action figures. Was that Burger King?
I think it sounds like BK.
They were super nice.
Oh,
action
man.
figures. I hope you don't mind me saying this to the audience, but you're really big into limited edition food and drink kind of stuff.
I am.
What are some of the great white whales? What are some of the things that McDonald's put out where you were
stuff that I usually would snag this stuff that I usually was on top of it when I was like the stuff before I was born, obviously, but
Sure.
like I remember like the salad shakers. Dude,
Okay.
that was like a bad idea.
Yeah.
It was like a cup with salad in it, and you were supposed to just put the dressing in it and shake
it
the
on a-
cup.
Yeah.
It was just like an insane thing. I was glad it made it to the public.
Yeah, how did it get out of the test kitchen? Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't everybody in that test kitchen just be splattered?
Yeah, like, the cops show up because I'm like shaking in the car by myself. They're like, why?
Yeah, because they just see from like the window up.
Yeah.
They see this. Your face is all red and this furious shit in the McDonald's parking lot, right next to like Grimace or something.
Furiously dialing the. Yeah, because I'm like, they just see me from the window up. My eyes are ready to bulge.
So the salad shaker. I remember the McDLT and the commercial and being super excited about this. This and the McDLT was good. You did have like the
What's
crisp
on
lettuce.
that?
It was like a McDonald's hamburger with like lettuce and tomato and stuff, but it was like the lettuce and tomato are crisp because it's this two chambered styrofoam holder, and so the cold stuff's on the left and the hot stuff's on the right, and then you put them together yourself. So it's kind of like those like food delivery companies, where they send you the ingredients and you make them.
Yeah,
it's
like
kind of
Blue
like
Apron.
Yeah, Blue Apron or something. It was kind of like the McDonald's equivalent of that. And on the commercial, like my memories of the commercial is like there's this guy in like a Don Johnson like white Miami Vice suit, like dancing through the city, and everybody's following him like the Pied Piper, and he's singing about how McDLT, how great it is, and that's my memory of that. And I pictured it being like, like a Don Johnson,
Yes!
or like I pictured it being like a Bruce Willis or something. Like it was like just this like 80s cool guy.
Shit.
And then all these years later, I find out it was George Costanza from Seinfeld. Like I guess right before Seinfeld.
You were like, you aspire to be that. You're like, who is this testosterone fueled hunk? This fucking beefcake. It's George Costanza.
Yeah, and it's like I guess it was like when he was like still wearing a wig or something.
Yeah, he had like a Burt Reynolds level like carpet up there.
Yeah, so it and that commercial kind of became famous for that thing. It's Jason Alexander, his like first big role or whatever as this cool 80s guy in a.
You're like
McDLT.
working out and you're picturing like him trying to aspire to his muscle mass.
We went back in time and I talked about the McDLT commercial. I'm going to go back in time even further. The first time I ever went to McDonald's, I got the first Happy Meal that had a movie tie-in.
What?
And it's like one of my earliest memories. I was 3 years old. My parents hated McDonald's. Like when we were like teenagers and stuff, they kind of softened and we would go to McDonald's and stuff. But when I was little, McDonald's was not, they sort of turned their noses up at it and stuff. But my grandparents loved McDonald's. And so like for Christmas, they'd give us McDonald's gift certificates
those
to
are
like
sweet.
force us to go. Yeah, and my grandparents took me to McDonald's. It was the first time I'd ever been to a McDonald's, and like I didn't spend a ton of time, like just me and my grandparents. So I'm thinking it was probably just the timing of it. It was probably like my sister was being born or whatever,
Okay.
and so my parents were probably in the hospital. So grandma and grandpop were like in charge and took me to their favorite place where they wished my parents would take us more often. And so we're at McDonald's at the play place, and I got the Star Trek the Motion Picture Happy Meal.
Holy shit, that's amazing.
I know, and I feel so lucky. And
V'ger's in it?
Yeah, exactly. It was that movie. And I remember the commercials too. Like in the commercial, there was this like giant Klingon like bird of prey flying by and stuff. Like the commercial it's like burned in my memory and just like fused in there. And I got the prize that I got was super cool. It was a little like Star Trek communicator, and then it had this like little hand crank where it would roll through these different like cartoon drawings of like Spock and stuff.
That's cool as hell. Please, do you have any?
Of course not. Of course I don't still have it. I wish I had the box. I wish I had the toy.
I still have like, oh my god, like it's got all of our like the old ornaments, like the Little Mermaid ornaments, or like Oliver and Company. And I remember they had the during the holidays they had these Muppet like stuffed little like Kermit and Fozzie.
Man, yeah, that stuff's like this was the beginning of that stuff because they had Happy Meals prior to that, but they were like, they're just generic. It was like the UFO Happy Meal or whatever.
Those were some of my favorite ones too, where they had like original like concepts in there.
Well, yeah, the
which was amazing.
The UFOs, they brought those back a bunch of times, and like they were like these like sort of plastic Happy Meal boxes that were shaped like UFOs, and then you'd open up your food, and then you'd have like a little UFO toy that you could like throw, or like it could float in the water.
Love it. Like, and they had these. Do you remember the Transformer ones they had? They were like little they were food that transformed into like robots, or they had a line of dinosaurs.
Okay.
And they were like made so well, and like they still like they could survive like a nuclear blast.
It's interesting because like you see like in like a thrift store or whatever, you'll see some of the McDonald's toys, and some of them are like they're just throwaway junk. They're just complete junk. But then some of them are kind of like legit toys. The Power Rangers ones were pretty good.
Oh yeah, I remember them. And I remember the they when they did have an actual like they had a tie-in where it was you could choose from Barbie or actual Transformers. Okay. I get the Barbie. I'm like. They're like, what are you doing?
Pucker up, Barbie. Did you hear they're making like a Barbie movie, and it's like an art film? It's like
no, I didn't.
It's like Squid and the Whale, and
oh my god, I gotta see this.
Like an intellectual Ken and Barbie with what's his name, Ryan Gosling as Ken.
Oh my god, this is awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to that.
Hasbro.
That's Mattel.
Or Mattel. Holy shit!
Yeah.
Oh my!
You're done. You're toast.
Please cut that up, please.
You've been to that Big Mac museum, McDonald's.
Yes.
Every time I drive past, I tip my hat. The birthplace of the Big Mac. The food at McDonald's. Like whenever I go to McDonald's, I'm super excited. It's like I can't wait to have whatever I get.
What's your favorites?
I get the McDouble.
I
tried them all. McDouble's the best sandwich there. It's like it's like a world class hamburger, the McDouble, and it doesn't like a double cheeseburger doesn't work. It has to be the McDouble because the double cheeseburger has 2 patties and 2 slices of cheese, and the cheese, that extra slice of cheese, gets in the way. If you get the regular McDouble, you got 2 beef patties up against each other, sealing in the moisture. It seals in the moisture. It's really good. I highly recommend. And I heard that, because I was off McDonald's for a long time and kind of got back into it during the pandemic. Got back into it in a big way, and I heard that the McDouble used to have vegetables on it. It used to have I think lettuce and tomato, kind of like a McDLT. So if they could bring that back, then it's like. Okay, I'm putting this up against anything.
I usually get the 2 cheeseburger meal.
Yeah.
I split it up a little bit.
That's good, yeah.
And the fries, sometimes I'll just go straight, just get a giant bin of fries.
Now the thing with the 2 cheeseburgers, that for me that's too much bread. Same thing with the Big Mac. That's too much bread. Take that middle slice out or something.
I'm gonna get on this McDouble train.
Yeah, try the McDouble. That's my recommendation. That's my food hack is order McDouble. And yeah, I get the basket of fries. Like once they came out with that basket of fries, the regular fries don't cut it. And yeah, if you're using the drive-through or whatever, by the time you get home, your fries are cardboard. So the basket of fries kind of keeps they stay. They
don't
a little
travel
bit fresher.
too well.
Yeah, they travel better.
And then I heard something. I don't know if McDonald's changed their grease they cooked the fries in at some point. Is that a thing?
That was like an episode of Malcolm Gladwell's podcast where he said they used to use beef tallow, and then at some point in the 80s, somebody got a bug up their ass about beef tallow being bad for you, so they switched it to a vegetable oil, and that the fries are vastly inferior ever since. And so if you were lucky enough to have had the beef tallow ones, you got to have a wonderful experience that people just can't have
anymore. Because I feel that same way about one of my favorite seasonal items, the Shamrock Shake.
Right. Okay.
It doesn't taste the same as when I was. Well, maybe I'm losing my mind or
Well, I feel like there was a period where, and maybe I have it a little bit scrambled, but I remember when the Shamrock Shake first came out, and I think in the beginning it was a white shake that's mint flavored. And then due to popular demand or whatever, it became a vanilla shake that's green.
Yes, like
And then now it's a mint shake that's green, or is it a mint shake that's white, or is what is it now?
so back in the I thought back in the day it was like just like a green like tint to it, like
Yeah.
a vague. Now it's like they want it to pop, so they do the clear cup, and then they inject this like beyond Slimer
Yeah.
fucking oozing.
This is
to,
like hair coloring.
Hair coloring in there to like really like sell it.
Okay, so that's where and it is mint though, because
It's mint.
Yeah, it's weird to have a green drink that's not mint, like a green
Yes.
milkshake that's not mint.
And
And I'm not like a big fan of mint ice cream, so I never got into it. But I imagine if you're into mint ice cream, like this, kind of makes it special, you know.
I'm a mint head.
Okay, you know what else I like is I didn't try it till I was older. You know, I've heard about it, you know, for years, but I was always a little scared of it. Was the McRib?
McRib, I'm here for it.
And like when it came out, I remember like my grandfather was calling it the McGristle. Like it's all gristle. They figured out a way to make a patty that's all gristle. So I stayed away, and maybe that's how it was back then. I tried the McRib during the pandemic, and it's amazing.
It's so
awesome.
great. It's so great. When I was in like elementary school, we had basically whatever the McRib is.
Yeah.
We were served like that, and I was like, oh god, this is amazing.
So good.
So it's
yeah.
like back to the. It's like nostalgic.
I mean, I've had like vegetarian ribs and stuff, so maybe that kind of prepped me for it, because it is kind of like it's obviously not vegetarian, but it's like a vegetarian rib because it's kind of this like artificially pressed
thing.
rib kind of thing, but it's really
It's so good.
You get some of that like onion on there.
And that bun.
Yeah, the bun's
The
great.
bun's great. And like I also love. I mean, I love their chicken McNuggets
Yeah.
because like Wendy's chicken nuggets feel like they're too close to nuggets you get like the grocery store.
Yeah, you can replicate that at home.
At home, where McDonald's chicken nuggets, like you can't get those anywhere but McDonald's.
You know, I used to work at a McDonald's in high school, and it was one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. Like, you know, it's obviously very nostalgic for it and stuff, but it was like so fun to go from like one side of the counter to the other.
Oh.
Like as every kid is like a fan of McDonald's, and
Yeah.
then it's like going pro or whatever. It's like
That's
become a
awesome,
comics
though.
artist. Or
I was
whatever.
worried it was like I don't want to know how the sausage is made.
No, it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
But like the first thing was like getting behind that counter. It's like I don't know if it's still like this, but it was all microwaves.
Okay.
So like you'd fry up, everything would be like, you know, fried up and grilled and whatever. You know, when you would like serve a hamburger or whatever, you'd stick it in the microwave for a little bit. You'd like wrap it up. But you know, I learned how to wrap this stuff.
Whoa.
You stick it in the microwave. You were getting was I don't know if they still do that, but it would all go via microwave. It would to kind of like warm everything back up.
Back up.
And then there were like these drawers, these like steamed drawers. It was like a sauna or whatever, where you put like the individual patties would kind of sit in there and before the sandwich is assembled. And they had like a drawer full of the McNuggets. And like the people that work there, never me, but people that work there would like walk past, pop one in their mouth, and so, like that's the thing with McDonald's. On the way there, I'm super excited. I like can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. And then by the time I'm done, I'm sick.
Oh, yeah.
I'm angry. I'm like sad. I'm like disgusted with myself.
And then I'm ready to do it all over again. I'm ready to get back in the saddle.
I mean, I need time because it is like. I know better. Like, I know how this thing goes, and I know where it ends. And it's like, it's never... I always regret it. I always regret it. And I need a little bit of time before the next bit, because you kind of forget, and then it's like, you just get that hankering and stuff.
I tell you what, too, like, nothing beats a Big Mac, too. Sometimes
I haven't had one in... Like, once I got on the Mcdouble, I kind of got off but the Big Mac was my sandwich, but now it's kind of like, it's a lot of bread.
I keep it... like save it for like in case of emergency break glass. Like I don't eat it all the time.
It's
like a treat.
Yeah.
Within a like a decadent restaurant like menu item I really love the McDonald's hot fudge sundae.
Yeah.
You can't get that at DQ or like it's like whatever ice cream and the fudge is just like unique to McDonald's. It's like perfect size. It's like super hot fudge right on there and it's great.
When I worked there, the milkshakes and the ice cream, it was just this like big IV bag of like white liquid that you just like you'd open the thing and just like stick it in there and and pour it in, and then the machine works its magic.
And then I do miss the days of the old McDonald's shake cups too. It's like you get your milkshake, it's just in like a paper cup.
Yeah.
Now they want you to see, like they're like,
the
we
clear.
gotta see the ice cream in there.
Matt, it's
like,
2022. I mean, what are you gonna do? I went down like a rabbit hole watching like the McDonald Land commercials. Now, when I was a kid,
God.
like I wasn't old enough for like that first generation of McDonald Land stuff, but I was there for like the 80s ones where it's like Birdie the early bird learns to fly. There was like the Halloween one where it's like there's a Bride of Frankenstein McNugget or whatever. So like I was there for like that stuff and I loved it. But like I was watching those 70s ones where like, HR Puff and stuff sued the McDonald's Corporation because like it was one of those deals where they were talking to the HR Puff and stuff people, Sid and Marty Krofft. They were talking to them about creating some kind of like McDonald's, equivalent of like HR Puff and stuff, and it didn't end up working out. So they weren't able to make a deal or whatever, and then McDonald's just created their own HR Puff and stuff ripoff, and so then they the Krofft company like sued McDonald's and stuff. But like those, like I love the Sid and Marty Krofft stuff. So like these Sid and Marty Krofft ripoffs are so great, and the music's good because it's like psychedelic rock. It's like it's like Ronald McDonald on a skateboard, psychedelic rock, and Grimace is a bad guy, and they're telling the story of that pirate dude.
The pirate guy. I keep forgetting about. I have like old plates with him on there. I forgot about that character.
Yeah, we have like the plates where, like when I was a kid, we had all the McDonald's plates, and they were like different seasons. So it was like Ronald McDonald raking up leaves, Grimace at the beach for the summer and stuff, and those are like long gone. But I eventually got, I found one at a thrift store. I found the fall one at the thrift store, which was kind of my favorite one. It's like
awesome.
Ronald and Grimace playing in the leaves. So I got that one. I don't. No one's eaten off of it yet. I don't know if it's got what year it is exactly. It might have some lead paint in it or something.
I mean, it's got lead paint.
It's made out of asbestos. So it doesn't burn up.
Somehow they didn't make, like, Ronald McDonald's is like this clown that I should be terrified of, but they managed to pull it off where it's like, man, this guy's awesome.
He's like the best clown.
The best clown ever. And then there's classic commercials where there was like that little girl that was afraid to go ice skating, and then Ronald comes out and
helps her.
And I think I watched it recently, was like crying watching it.
It's almost as good as when Pee Wee Herman goes ice skating with Little Richard.
I love it. Little Richard.
Yeah.
I always remember Little Richard had the double ice skates.
Yeah,
he had two, and I was like, that's like to protect. I don't know what it is.
It's like hockey skates, or like like training wheels
skates.
I mean, he was an old guy even at that point. So
he was like, and then I remember when Nat Funicello used his like toothbrush to like they were like making those prints out of the potatoes.
Yeah.
And then she spikes the camera, and I can't wait. We should cover the Pee Wee.
Yes, of course we should. Yeah, the Pee Wee. It was like a Christmas special.
We got Mac and Me, which was it was funded by like McDonald's. Basically, made the movie.
Macaganda.
When I was little watching that, they fucking like shot right to my my core, because when the kid's in his room and the mom brings him a plate with like, it was McDonald's was on it and a fucking can of Coke, and I was like, I'm starting to salivate now. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, I got it. What do I have to do to get on that level? I was like,
McDonald's makes like Coca-Cola seem so good, and like watching those old McDonald Land commercials, Ronald McDonald, he's like we're stopping by McDonald's for Frosty Cokes, and like Frosty Coke, like Madison Avenue, like the Frosty Cokes just sounds so good. Yeah, and that's kind of like, that's the other thing that McDonald's hooks me in with, is because like, I don't know if it's this in like every area, but like in Pittsburgh, it's for $1 you get any size drink. So you could get like a coffee for $1, or you could get like a huge Diet Coke for $1.
Has anybody got to the bottom of this? Like, McDonald's fountain Coke tastes unlike any pop.
Yeah.
Coke doesn't. It only tastes like that at McDonald's. I can't remember if anyone looked into that. It just tastes so good. Like, sometimes you just want specifically McDonald's Coke.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, and I will like, if I need like a little pick me up in the day, just kind of stop. And then it's like, you're not just gonna go through the drive-through and get a drink.
Hell no.
They'll look at you funny. You know what? When I worked at McDonald's, we had these kind of like very very 90s kind of like I think they were like teal or something, like purple and
Yeah.
green or something, like shirts and like hats and stuff. Like I always loved the McDonald's like merchandise. Like I see some of the shirts and
Oh,
hats
yeah.
and stuff that they have now that are like super nice, and I'm always like a little bit tempted to be like, oh, how do I get one of them? And I'm sure they would like. Would they sell them to a civilian, or would you?
You know
you
what?
got to work there to get.
I'm gonna look on eBay for
Yeah.
them because guess what else? I should have busted it out for this episode. Somehow I got my hands on a McDonald's late '80s like corporate just like their corporate like project or like, either like the year end
Yeah. Okay.
report
yeah.
and the 80s the hologram fever of the 80s
Yeah.
and in the toys, the whole front of it is like a hologram.
Nice.
It even made its way into that, and it was like it's pretty great. Like I have it in my files somewhere.
Well, how bad would you like to have one of those like Happy Meal toy displays where it's like
Holy
like
shit.
all the toys of it, especially if it was something cool like a Transformers or Power Rangers. Or
Oh
something.
yeah, when you're waiting
Batman.
in line to get your food with your parents when you're little, it's like right at your eye level,
Yeah.
and you want to pull like a heat arrow, like it's like you put like the explosives on the plastic,
Right, yeah.
blow it, and then get in there and
Get through that lucite.
Lucite.
It is like you can't do a McDonald's episode without referencing like just how cynically they target kids for their promotional stuff, and it's like if they create a McDonald's fan as a kid, they have a fan for life, and like I know that I've been manipulated by the McDonald's corporation and stuff, but it's like
I let it flow over
it's,
me.
yeah, it's so much a part of it, like being like a 3-year-old and getting a Spock,
So good.
of course I'm hooked. Of
Also-
course there's no turning back from that.
Whoever invented like the Happy Meal needs to get like the like a Nobel Prize. Like you just open that paper box, you got a burger, fries, and
Yeah.
there's a toy in there too. Are
Yeah.
you shitting me?
Yeah.
Like I also loved McDonald's when they sold the VHS tapes with Paramount.
Okay.
There was like
Right, you could get. Wasn't it like Indiana Jones or like Star Wars or
oh
something?
yeah, like they had Paramount a lot of years. Like I got like Addams Family, I got
Okay.
Wayne's World there, like Indiana Jones.
Yeah, I feel like they did like reissues of Indiana Jones, like
Oh,
you get
yeah.
the whole Indiana Jones series. Yeah.
So, who can forget? This season they're bringing back apparently
Yeah, the Halloween buckets.
Halloween-
Yeah, the Halloween buckets. Super nostalgic.
super nostalgic. Like I had all the eras. There was like McBoo, McGoblin. Then there was like one year that they had like the pumpkin, the witch, and the ghost.
Okay.
I have my mom is on McBoo bucket duty.
Alert. Okay,
So
she's gonna get it, yeah.
She's like, I'm like, Mom, please give me that McBoo bucket.
Before we go, I don't remember if it was like right before the pandemic or early in the pandemic, but there was this moment at McDonald's, not too many years ago, maybe 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, where they had international menu sandwiches.
Oh yes,
They had
yes,
sandwiches that you could get
yes.
from like McDonald's Italy, McDonald's France. You could get the Royale with cheese.
Oh shit! Yeah.
But one of them, and they should make this a permanent menu item, but it was from Italy. It was a chicken parmesan sandwich.
Oh,
so
that
good.
sounds amazing.
So good,
Dude, I was actually looking up McDonald's commercials from like other countries.
Yeah.
And like to see, so I'm like, we get their like other
Right.
countries' foods, and I was seeing what their like they were having like a taste of of America.
Yeah.
And it was
Because that's the thing. Yeah, if like they gotta change this stuff up for like European tastes,
Yeah.
and you know that it's not like just from the taste of this chicken parmesan, it's like
like I can't, dude. I'm gonna.
I want them
it
to
so
bring.
bad.
We got to make a trip to Italy. Do like a week of episodes in Italy, just so we can try the
McDonald's.
Because I'll bet when they brought the Italian chicken parmesan to America, I'll bet they dumbed it down too. So I'll bet it's like even better over there.
Yeah, we don't go to any like 5-star like
Yeah.
Italian like chefs to make like some pasta. Like we're like beeline to Mickey D's. But in the Taste of America, they had a commercial. It's like there was something from Chicago, but in the Florida one, in these commercials, there was a bunch of it shows a street and then it like transforms into whatever the theme of the sandwich is. And for the southern one, like a fan boat appeared.
You love that, yeah. The fan boat turns into a hamburger.
Looked like it's like ding, 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 and I was like, they're like a taste of America, and I was like, oh, what are you gonna fucking do?
Yeah.
And the one it was like another one. It was like, I gotta find this commercial.
Yeah, I gotta see it. Yeah. So yeah, this has been a great episode celebrating McDonald's. Thanks to our sponsor, Burger
King. I also heard a Burger King rumor as well. Apparently, there's another limited edition Halloween Whopper possibly hitting this.
Okay, an orange Whopper.
An orange Whopper. And because I've had the A1 Whopper.
Yeah, and didn't you were brave enough to have like the green Whopper?
The green Whopper too. It was really good.
Did you ever have the Whopper that had like a black bun?
That I had that one.
That one too.
The one I missed out on was the one with a white bun.
Okay. See, because I wouldn't go near any of those.
Yeah, like they're like
weird buns.
Talk about like a Hulk origin story.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm like, this thing altered my fucking DNA or whatever.
Been watching the Total Recall Show. I'm Tom Scholey, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics, and Fantastic Four Grand Design.
I'm Matt Zioli.
And check out the Jacktober drawing prompts. It's a series of drawing prompts for the month of October that are Jack Kirby related. Every day is a different Jack Kirby character or drawing or vibe or whatever. And you sort of follow along, draw what you want. I'm posting my drawings on my Twitter at Tom Scholey or on my Instagram account at Tom_Scholey and at my Patreon. And I show some of the behind the scenes and like preliminary sketches and stuff exclusively on my Patreon. And so yeah, check that out.
They look great.
Thanks.
And you can follow me on Instagram at cinema_tomb.
And we'll see you at McDonald's.
Yep. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. Do you believe in magic?
Okay.
Do you believe in magic? Hope you do. You always have a friend wearing big red shoes.
Dude, I mean, I remember that You Deserve a Break Today.
Oh, I remember that
Written
one.
by Barry Manilow.
Oh, God.
McDonald's and you just around the bend. McDonald's and you like an old friend.
Barry Manilow, I think he wrote the State Farm jingle.
Okay,
like
yeah, that was
neighbor, State Farm.
That was
there.
his like bread and butter was jingles, and then became a pop star.
We got to do a Total Recall Show jingle. Oh,
Total, yeah. You deserve
a show today.
Recall. Just like take the one from Total Recall.
There was
Why
also Brian Cox is doing the voiceovers for McDonald's these days.
Okay.
I'm loving those.
Yeah.
I'm loving his...
I remember when I'm Loving It first came out, and it's like one of those things. It was like when Michael Keaton was announced as playing Batman. It was like the press just skewered it. Like, this is the dumb... What does that even... I'm loving it. What does that even mean?
It was like Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
They're like, what is this stand-up guy?
Yeah.
Like,
why is Mr. Mom has become Batman? The Dark Avenger of the Night, Mr. Mom.
Also, you got to give it to McDonald's. They took Ronald out of the mix without anybody ever fucking realizing.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's kind of like Mickey Mouse, where it's like he, kind of fades to the background, and maybe they'll take him out of mothballs every now and then to kind of, and he like sort of shows up here and there, but more as like a. As like a logo than as a character. Did you ever have a birthday party?
Holy shit! Yes, that was one of my favorite things ever. Birthday parties at McDonald's. Like my brothers and me at least had like one or if not multiple birthdays there. I mean, God, I loved it. I even remember one of the games. They had this like. It was like a dartboard thing with these balls that had like Velcro on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he would throw those, and then like I remember my brother like. He got his Rambo bike, big wheel as the big present. Nice. We called it the Rambo bike because it was like we would drive down the hill. Like he would drive, I would stand on the back as the gunner, the machine gunner.
They gotta. I mean, or maybe I can be the one to do it. But there's got to be like a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen or like an Avengers of like inappropriate children's cartoons from our childhood, where it's like a super team made up of Rambo, Toxic Avenger,
Charles Bronson from Death Wish.
Yeah, but just like the characters that got it was Swamp Thing, the characters, the Inhumanoids, just something where it's like the characters that are like sort of spun off from like a definitely not child friendly main thing gets spun off into like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, what if they had the Boglins? Do you remember the Boglins?
Yeah, Boglins.
Oh
yeah.
God, yeah. Like I remember it was this kid Landon's birthday, and I got him a Police Academy Sweet Chuck Kenner action figure.
Nice.
The one where he hides in like the garbage can was his like thing.
Yeah, because didn't the Police Academy weren't they kind of like the Ghostbusters ghosts where they do some kind of funny transformation?
Like Jones had like a megaphone or something.
Okay.
But I just remember I had I remember all this because I'm a psycho.
Yeah.
And like I had an Alf Junk for Joy sweater on, and I remember at the party I just barfed the biggest fucking puke.
Yeah, no,
and then my dad had to come get
uniform.
me.
Okay, so on that note, we'll see you later.